Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our entitled people. In today's episode, being called entitled for changing my locks 2 years ago. Lady, people don't have a place to stand, you don't get to hog 2 seats. Mom and sister can't take no for an answer. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Being called entitled for changing my locks 2 years ago. This is a weird story that just happened over the weekend, thought y'all might enjoy it. So, Saturday night the missus and I are lying in bed trying to go to sleep when I hear some noise from the back door. Storm door opens and slams shut. I'm not fully asleep yet, so I put on pants and shirt I can find and grab my trusty shotgun. We moved to the mountainside and most of the area is still wooded and living in such condition wild animals are an issue. We have bears, coyote, raccoon and bobcat to name a few. So, as I'm moving to the back door, I hear a window break in the back garage. I look out and see someone breaking into my garage. I scream for the wife to call the sheriff office. Around here 911 doesn't work well for breaking in. We are connected with a couple of counties, and it gets confusing for them. We get quicker response by calling them directly. I'm now in go mode thinking some meth head is trying to score some tools for some quick cash. Got out of the house and noticed this person truck still running. I did the only thing I could think of and took the key out of the truck and put it in my pocket and waited for the deputies to show up. Took them 20 minutes to show up. One was state police, the other was local sheriff deputy who were doing radar 10 miles up the road. Wife and I know them both. With my gun in hand, I told them someone was in the garage, and I haven't approached it yet, but here's the key to the perp truck. They go and gun donned out and deal with the situation. The dude was passed out on an old bench seat for an old truck I have by the tool bench. They wake him up and arrest him with little to no issues other than him screaming profanity at them. They told me that I can press charge and to come in on Monday to file the paperwork. He's not getting out anytime soon since, on top of his breaking in, he's being charged with a DUI. Yesterday I spent the day traveling trying to fix the window this broke since no stores that are open Sunday in my local area. While in my travels I'm fuming at the fact that I'm having to do this repair on a piece of junk door from the 70s. My wife was telling me to maybe let him go with a warning, but I'm having none of it. So, this morning I went to the sheriff office. The same deputy was there that arrested the perpetrator, so I asked him how the ride with the dude was. This is the version the officer gave me. Officer, why did you break into the garage? Perp, I was trying to get my stuff back, but someone changed the lock. Officer, you know they purchased that place from Kevin 2 years ago, right? Perp, what? That doesn't give them the right to change the lock without telling me. Officer, yeah, they can. You ain't been in that house for like 4 years and I was the one who got you out of that house because you beat the hell out of your old lady. That's twice I get to arrest you on the same property. Perp, but he shouldn't be entitled to change the locks though, where else am I supposed to go? A little backstory on the property. We purchased it from Kevin, who's a school board member, and gave us a decent deal on the property. He had the property as a rental for his nephew for a few years. When his nephew started walking in his dad's footsteps by getting drunk and beating his girlfriend at the time, he evicted him from the property 2 years before we purchased it. When he evicted him, he emptied the content of the garage as all scrap metal. He found that out Sunday morning when his uncle paid him a visit in jail. Kevin had other renters on the property after he sold it to us because he didn't want the responsibility of it anymore. He's being charged with trespassing, criminal trespassing, breaking and entering, driving under the influence and property damage of less than $500. I can't believe you changed the locks without telling him. And you didn't even give him a key. Ha 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 ha. Around here he would have been shot. He's lucky you hung back and called the cops. I am in Louisiana. Pulled it here and the folks looking for you will just find fat alligators. Hope those were some really good drinks he had because he's going to be paying for them for years. Good discipline not to use your shotgun on him. Not sure what I was getting into, figured I'd just wait and let law enforcement deal with it. That reminds me. I forgot to give our new driveway gate code to the meth heads down the street. Good thing he passed out. Things could have gotten ugly. You would have been justified protecting yourself and your wife. Lady, people don't have a place to stand, you don't get to hog 2 seats. My city has a very efficient network of public transport. There is one bus line connecting the city center with the most populated district, so it is always pretty full and I almost always stand. Today the bus was much fuller than usual, mainly due to bad weather, so it is understandable that people don't want to walk in the rain. There were about 5 moms with baby carriers in their designated spots, and the rest of the people took up all of the space in the aisle, including the space around the door, some even blocking the driver's view until he forced them to move. That being said, as I moved a bit back to make more space for more people that were getting in, I noticed this lady not too far from me. She was sitting in an aisle seat with the window seat next to her being empty. The way she was sitting made it impossible for anyone to take that seat. She had a backpack on, so she was sitting on the edge and was leaning forward, so she was blocking access to the empty seat. Why do some people think that they are entitled to 2 seats when people around have to squish like sardines so others can get on and not have to wait for the next bus? She was being selfish. She knew what she was doing because she put her headphones on, so she did not hear anyone say anything about her hogging up 2 seats. I would start fingerspelling in front of her nose and make it a point to make her uncomfortable. People in my city often take the aisle seat first, but if asked, will stand to make way for someone who wants the window seat. My great-grandfather was conductor on commuter trains. When someone took 2 seats on a full train and refused to move, he punched their ticket twice. Mom and sister can't take no for an answer. So I'm not going to put my age considering the situation, but I am a teenage girl. Now here's a little context. So a few months ago my mom got me some gummies to help me to sleep, just some weed gummies. It's not nothing bad, it's just to help me sleep and for my appetite, as I have problems with both of them, but my mom got them for sleeping because my mom didn't want me to keep taking Benadryl. My sister always asks me for some. If I have a full bottle I'll give her some if she asks. But the thing is, she keeps asking, and when I finally say I don't have much left, she asks me again when we're in my mom's room talking. Now I'll say I only have 2 or 4 because I do. I normally have to take at least 2 a day just so I can be tired at night time. If I said no, she would ask our mom and my mom would make me give her 1 if not half, and then she threatens to not buy me anymore because I apparently have an attitude when my answer won't be respectful. So today we were getting ready to make everything for Thanksgiving. We were in my mom's room waiting for my oldest sister to get here because she doesn't leave with us. My sister saw me pick up the bottle as it was time for me to take the last 2. I take them after 2 because that's when it gets closer to nighttime. She asked me and I said I only had 2, and after a minute she asked my mom. My mom looked at me and said something like, I think it would be sisterly. I don't remember exactly what she said. It was just something about being sisterly. Then she began to make me give her half when I said no to my sister multiple times that I only have 2 left. I don't understand what's the point of being asked when I'm going to be forced to do it regardless of my answer. It just feels like they don't respect the fact that I said no after being asked. I'm tired of getting threatened to get the one thing that actually helps me sleep all because I said no. It feels like that in the future I won't be able to say no to anyone or anything because I feel like they are going to take it or do it regardless if I said no or not. It feels like that I can't even be respected because I can't say no to anyone when it's going to happen regardless, so I just don't say no to people at all because of it. Because I know it's going to happen regardless if I want it to happen or not. I know it's just weed gummies and it's not a big deal, but they help me sleep. They give me an appetite when I don't have any because I have problems with sleep and my appetite, and it feels like they don't even care about what forcing me to do something I don't want does to me. This happens so much and I'm so tired of it. I've only been able to have 1 or 2 bottles to myself when she had her own weed. Edit. I don't use it daily. Please stop coming at my mom when you don't know the full story. Just ask and I'll give more detail about it. I don't depend on it or anything, I just wanted to know if I was the entitled one or not. Edit 2. Okay, I get everyone is concerned, but you can talk to me about those concerns without bad-mouthing my mom. At the moment I am using melatonin, though my tolerance to it is on and off. I understand what edibles can do to you and I am in control of it. You guys bad-mouthing my mother is only going to make it worse for me. You're not helping me by telling me that my mom is an awful parent when she is the sweetest, most lovely, and caring woman I've ever known. She's passionate and just lights up the room when someone is having a bad day. So talking about someone who's trying her absolute best to help me is not helping me. It's only going to make me worse. You're doing more damage than saving by talking awful about one of the people I love the most. Edit 3. I may just delete this post. I came here and wanted to get out of my comfort zone to ask if I was overacting about this, but instead I'm getting lectured about my age and how my mom is an awful person. I'm getting told that I'm addicted when that's not the case at all. I just wanted to know someone's perspective of the question that I was asking, and I can't even get that. Edit 4. Thank you for those who understood and who actually answered to the question of the post, the actual point of this post. I may end up deleting it and this whole account by tomorrow, considering I'm not even getting listened to. Because I'm young and a teenager, I know absolutely nothing. I appreciate the concern and advice, but that doesn't mean you get to tell me and act like I don't know what I'm doing because of my age, also considering the fact that I didn't even ask for the advice or concern. But thank you again, I guess, even though most of you did more damage than good. Edit 5. I forgot to mention that I only mostly lose my appetite when I'm on my period. Edit 6. Y'all, I don't care about what you think. My mom is trying her best and doing all she can for me at the moment. For the meantime, if you can't just accept that she's trying, then just get off my page if you're going to badmouth her. I'm not going to keep arguing with y'all because you can't understand shit. Edit 7. Wait guys, am I being entitled or not? Y'all so worried about the weed when that's not even the problem or the point of this post. If your mom thinks it's fine for your sister to use the gummies, why doesn't mom buy a bottle for the sister, instead of having her mooch yours? I guess because my mom doesn't have enough to buy two, as depending on what kind I get it can be more expensive than the other. But my sister literally has a job and buys her own weed, but she never buys her own bottle of gummies. My mom only got her one bottle out of all the bottles she got for me. I was only able to have 1 or 2 bottles to myself. THC can be beneficial for many health problems. But, even though use has become a lot more mainstream, it is not good for teenage brains. Your brains are still forming in your teens, and it can and does affect how it forms. Problems like in learning, memory, coordination, reaction time, and judgment. For life. Melatonin helps as a safer option. My mother once gave me painkillers for strep. It doesn't make it right. Or a good solution. Look up other alternatives. The added benefit will be your mooch of a sister won't be interested. NTA. I think the bigger issue here is that you're a teenager and your mom is buying you weed gummies. Even though our society and culture makes it seem like it's not a big deal, it has mind-altering effects on your brain. I started consuming cannabis at 14 and wish I never did. It changed me for the worse. Is it possible you've grown a dependence for it? I'd try to get to the root issue of your sleep problems instead of using substances. No judgment whatsoever. I just wish someone told me 20 years ago that weed is a big deal and can have negative effects on your life. Oh, what an idea! My teenage kid is having sleep problems, so instead of taking her to a doctor, I will drug her to sleep every night. Do you realize it's illegal to give drugs to minors, and if someone reports it, your parents are going to get arrested? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.